Hi everyone, I'm Ian Poulton from OpenText. I'm the Director of Solution Consulting in ANZ, and today I've got the great pleasure of Colette Retelich joining me from Evolution Mining to talk about their people and culture. So Colette, would you like to tell us about your role?
Sure, thanks Ian, thanks for having me. So as Ian said, I'm the People and Culture Lead Systems for Evolution Mining. And I guess my team and myself are responsible for all of the maintenance across all of our P&C platforms, as well as conducting all enhancements and large-scale implementation projects.
Yeah, so Colette, really interested to hear about the key challenges that your business faced that made you embark on this transformation challenge with OpenText.
So we were actually faced with quite a large strategic initiative whereby we were implementing a new P&C operating model. So as owner of the P&C systems, it was my responsibility to come up with ways of working that would enable the lift of all transactional activity from our site P&C teams and move that into a centralised admin hub. As you can imagine, from going to a very decentralised model into a centralised model, there was a lot of work that we needed to do around our data and governance. We were lacking structure and a framework, so to speak, there, and we had a number of disconnected processes that we needed to work through, how that information flow would work from our site teams through to the central hub.
So we're obviously happy you did, but you landed on OpenText core content management for SAP SuccessFactors and as well the core signature solution. What were the key factors that got those across the line for you as a decision?
I guess the key benefit for us, and getting it across the line was really around, the centralisation, the compliance, and the access provisioning. They were really key for us. We were also able to, streamline the way in which that information flowed right through to the hub. So from the initiation of the request, coming through to data maintenance by the hub, picking up of document generation via the letter templates, through core signature for signing, and a finalised, outcome letter as a result of those data changes, straight back into the employee file. So it was a true end-to-end, light touch, minimal manual effort, which meant that our data integrity and compliance piece was complete.
Well, that sounds like a nice seamless process that we've managed to do all the way around, closing the loop. That's great. Now, this has been going since 2024. You've had a couple of phases and rollouts that have been going on. I guess what is your either the best or your favourite process that you've managed to standardise and automate during that time?
Look, there's multiple actually, because the general end-to-end of process management, we did a lot of work on the front end in SuccessFactors by customizing our workflows and utilising a write back capability for the data, but it really wouldn't make sense if we only focused on the data side and the front end without looking at the back end of our processes, which is where OpenText came into play. It was really important for us to finalise, or put a full stop, for want of a better term, at the end of our process. Otherwise, we wouldn't see the end-to-end result.
Yeah, look, we've all seen a lot of things that are either just started or nearly finished. It's nice to hear something that's actually complete in that regard.
Yeah.
And I guess a key factor of that was the doc generation seemed to be really quite important. And we talked about the process and that support from a capability perspective. Interested to know what it was for the end-to-end employee experience from that change.
Yeah, so the key learnings that we found was really around I guess that engagement, like really, really good engagement from an end user perspective. So that wasn't just within P&C, but we really looked at, engaging a site representative team to really assist us with, the preparation of the data and the documents. We were looking at sort of over 80,000 documents that we needed to migrate into core. And without, I guess, that level of engagement right down to the document level to understand, what sort of structure were you using, like what about your naming conventions, like what does that acronym mean within the title of that document, to enable way better validation, way better cleansing, and a way in which we could properly categorise and get that accuracy and integrity around the documents and where they were sitting within core. We put some ambitious targets around failure rates as part of the migration as well. So, we really were, aiming high to make sure that we had a less than 3% failure rate of all of the migrated documents that came over. That was key for us because we needed to build trust with the business that the way in which they were doing and working with their documents, previously was going to change, but it was going to be better for them. So we really needed to sell it, and we were able to come through with the evidence of that through, the way in which we migrated the historical documents.
Oh, good. I mean, challenging times, migration, and anyone that's moved house knows exactly just how hard that can be.
Yeah.
Well done on getting such a low failure rate as well with the migration, getting all the data through. But that's all what you've tried to do. You talked about selling it internally, but at the end of the day, organisations, they want results.
Yep.
And really interested to hear what benefits you're able to express through this transformation.
The benefits, have really been aligning with the expected outcomes around the P&C operating model. But it's really the key things like the centralisation of our employee files. We now have, adequate access. We can find things at the fingertips. We're meeting our compliance requirements, not just at an organisational level, but, for the site-specific requirements that we have. We work across a couple of different jurisdictions, so it was really important to us that we had access control. We had our retention periods were correct and on point. And we had, just again, the ability to, store information accurately and centrally. So the benefit was really all of those things, as well as, like I said, we removed the disconnection between our processes and created a more streamlined end-to-end.
Oh, great. Sounds like ease of use was for the end user is coming in there.
Very, very easy to use, which was probably came, as a result of again that engagement piece and the capability of the solution.
That's good. I mean, you've done a great job so far, sort of summarising 2 years of work into the conversation we've had. I'd like you to go one step further. If you could give me 3 tips out of that work that you could then share with our audience, that'd be great.
I've mentioned a couple of things, but I would say, make sure that you really spend a lot of time in the preparation phase. It's not, like I said, just an easy lift and shift. You've really got to understand, the documents that you want to come over into core. We actually drew pretty hard lines in the sand to make sure that we weren't trying to migrate or store irrelevant information or unfinalised information as well. It was really critical for us to have, the final PDF version of the signed, confirmed data change, etc. So it was, really drawing hard lines between, what was going into core versus what was going to some other archive repository. So engagement, I think also making sure that there's flow with your with your processes. It was key for us to, like I said, complete that end-to-end. So even from picking up document, generation, to be able to generate those letters, post a workflow approval, to utilising core signature, and bringing that right back into core. We actually also did a bit of a rebrand. I'm so sorry. But in order for the buy-in to occur, we actually renamed core to the Vault.
Okay.
And that we found really worked for us because it brought it, as a more familiar, term for, I guess, the solution that we,
Excellent, excellent. Oh, there you go.
I don't know if I'm going to add that in. So.
Bit of rebranding, okay.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
I'll let your marketing team know.
And I guess that's 2 years, a couple of phases, but we shouldn't rest on our laurels. What's really next and what could OpenText do for information governance at People and Culture?
So I think what we plan to do is probably spend some time embedding the solution. I'm sure there's going to be further iterations just around some of the categorization, some of the scope in which we use today. So already in discussions with some of our other functions around other employee information that's relevant to go into core and into the employee folders. So, from health and safety information, training documents, etc. The way in which Evolution is set up means that we do have opportunity for some other information residing elsewhere to come into the fold. And from a document generation sort of template perspective, we started with around 5 or 6 general condition change letters, but I think we'll be moving towards looking at the offer process now, so around employment contracts and other other attachments that we generate as part of our offer process.
Great. And now we've managed to go through this whole conversation without talking about AI, but do you feel like there's a place in the processes and automations you talked about so far?
Absolutely. It certainly is the hot topic for People and Culture in particular. We'd be looking at leveraging, I guess, some of the existing AI capability that we have within the tools and systems that we utilise today, so such as Aviator, etc. So that will be key for us to start exploring and implementing, over the next 12 to 18 months. And we have to be careful when we think about the broader business, given, a large portion is non-digital, just with working, on sites and underground and having less access to, a desktop or any kind of technology. So it's really, we're on the journey. We've got a lot of collaboration to happen between our site teams, but also within our group functions around IT and technical operations.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, the future is bright.
The future is bright, but we're on board.
Yeah. No, thank you so much for your time today, Claire. Great to take your answers here on these questions and understand a bit more about evolution mining. Thank you. I look forward to hearing more news.
Thank you, Ian.
All right.
Great to be here.
Take care. Thank you.
Thanks.